Dungeons and Dragons.
And junk drawer. Hey.
Hello.
Oh no.
What's up, guys?
Oh, thank God.
We are back with another episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer. We have some announcements to make, believe it or not. You shouldn't, but you should. Because leading us off, Dice Daddy himself. What you got, buddy?
I have a few things. One, why do you look like Hacker Man?
Because I'm about to hack into the mainframe, dude.
Oh, fuck. All right. Yo, what's up? Okay. So my shout-outs today are going to be very familiar. I'm going to shout out first and foremost Roll20. Roll20, thanks for being an awesome platform that is easy to use once you get the hang of it. Also, really cool stuff on their marketplace. Once you buy it, it's yours forever or until the company goes under. Places that I have bought products from are Mythic Portal Games, Printable Heroes, Kev's Lounge, Incomparable David Hemingway. Also wanted to shout out Gere Gestures Artist Shop. They are friends of the show, and you should definitely check out their really cool D&D related merch. And then I'd also like to shout out Spam. I made a breakfast bowl for dinner, and it was fucking delicious. And I put Spam in that muh. But of course, you also know what I topped it with. And that was...
Tapatio.
All right, well, I know you want to hurt me, but yes, it was also heightened with Tapatio hot sauce. Tapatio, piss off Pat, and get some. And that's it. Those are my shout-outs.
Those are the shout-outs.
Them's the Blakes.
Up next, we have Josh Delgado. Hit us with it, buddy. What do you got?
First off, shout out to how uncomfortable it is when grown-ass men do baby voices.
Ooh. Who's
Josh,
ready to win?
Why don't you wake up voices? Oh, Joshy Poo went way. No more Dremel, I guess.
I hate this so much.
I will agree that this is something that I didn't realize I wasn't a fan of.
I learned that from that episode of The Office where Andy does it. Like, oh, this is an anti-fetish. My penis goes inside of me and not in the fun way.
Wait, what?
Carlos
Go
knows.
on.
So the second shout out I have is to Oxygen. Thanks, Oxygen, for letting me breathe you and turn you into carbon dioxide. And then the third shout out, as always, we'll say it together.
Fuck you,
Donovan.
Donovan.
Ba-ba-da-ba. Now back down to Pat.
Am I down?
Well, I mean, now you are.
Okay,
He's
fair.
on fire.
All right. Up next, we have Carlos.
That's me.
That is you.
Hi. I got two shout outs today. First one, I'm going to keep doing my shouting out artists for uplifting and positivity. One of the artists that I'm going to, or the artist that I'm going to shout out today is actually one of our players on the Junk Drawer show called Kez. You can check her out on Instagram at Critical Kez, both K's, KRITICALKEZ. She has done some amazing artwork for us at Random Encounter Productions. You can check her out, all of her stuff on Instagram. She does commissions. So if you're looking to draw your D&D character or any other roleplay character as well, like check her out, hit her up, all that jazz. Support artists and the arts at this time. Also, my second shout out is going to be to my amazing husband, whose birthday is tomorrow. Yay, happy birthday, Drew. So he's catching up to me now, because now we're the same age again. Yay. This was the awkward 22 days that we're not the same age. But ta-da. Back to you, Pat.
Up next, we have the man positively abreast with purple, Mike Spillane.
Hey, speaking of that, you gave a shout out to your husband. Shout out to my lovely girlfriend for making my hair purple in honor of Orlando City being on an 8-game streak without a loss. We haven't been good before, so I'm embracing it in full force. So might as well do that. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at the Junk Drawer Show, as we got some great content. Justin, what's up?
I thought you were just a big fan of Grimace and chicken nuggets, so I wasn't. I'm glad that you specified.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to make sure that the scrutiny, that there's no confusion, And my other shout out is I know that there's supposedly an important debate tonight. So if you're watching us, we greatly appreciate it. But still, it's important to make sure that you register to vote. So shout out to Bill from Florida Democrats for reaching out to me today to make sure that I am going to be voting in this election. And he didn't push an agenda on me at all, which was kind of slightly surprising. So good on them for that. Back to you, Pat.
Don't only register, vote.
Yeah, that's true. Register to vote and actually do it.
Unless you have the wrong opinion, in which case, don't vote.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Agreed. Trump. Sorry.
Machete. No, President Machete. Are you kidding me?
He's not on the ballot. It will never happen.
He's a write-in.
So, I will start off by shouting out my wife, as I always do. Thank you for letting me come and play Imagination with these guys for many hours every week. I appreciate it. I love you. I will jump in on the vote shout out as well, as I did so last week. So obviously these guys are just copying me. And it's just me. I'm the only one that's ever said this. So, I'm an individual. But no, really, do vote. It's very important. It's basically your right as a citizen to do so. And if you don't, you're not a good person, probably. I don't know. I don't actually know you. But, yeah, just do it. So, with all that being said, Dice Daddy, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we had a doozy for a 40th. So, last time we were all together, Thokk was profusely bleeding out of an open, gaping wound in his chest, made very apparent by the one and only Monotep, which is the actual body of Manu. Through some shenanigans and hijinks, Thokk was able to get away without a sternum completely intact in his body, as it was ripped from his chest. Eventually calling down Dawnlight to kind of bring the rest of the boat and the party aware of happenstance. Once again, more hijinks ensued, and eventually Monotep caught up with the party on a massive dead whale that he had converted into almost like a devil demon whale, as he completely became ablaze with hellfire. A battle ensued, and Monotep, looking very hurt, was eventually bitten and swallowed by the whale, and had managed to escape barely, as emergency surgery was put on Thokk, where his sternum was replaced with a pig sternum. And we kind of left everything with the party at odds with Thokk, as he had been gifted or had an imaginary friend in Manu. And Manu, hearing everything that his friends had to say, had went away to a negative space. And we kind of ended it there, as the night kind of became slowly to day, as this was late during the night. So, a few things you guys can do. You can either sleep for 8 hours, which will be in the middle of the day when you wake up, or you could go about your day as per usual. So I will throw that to the group. What would you guys do in this instance? I have a feeling that Thokk would be sleeping, because he's been through quite a lot within the past few hours.
We're all in the room still, right?
Yes, you are all still in the aqua room.
Hey guys, I kind of think we should let Thokk sleep. Anybody else want to grab some Z's? Maybe keep a watch. Just do a rotating watch to make sure nothing followed us,
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. I can just do my trance for a little while and take a longer watch if you guys need to get rest.
I'm pretty beat, so I think Drem and I can take the first two, and then you can take the other two. It
Yeah.
should be enough, and Thokk can just kind of rest up and hopefully get a little better.
Sounds like a plan.
Drem, you good with that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take first watch.
All right, you sure? You want some company? Or...
Yeah, sure.
All right. And I'm gonna kind of like give Alder like a little playful shot, and I'll be like, I saw what you did there. It was like me. I see it. I like you. I respect it. It's nice.
Do what I can.
And I'll call over to Thokk as well. Hey, get some sleep, big guy. Okay. And I'll walk out with Dream.
Yeah. Okay. So the two of you kind of leave the room. It's in that awkward kind of air as you guys had laid pretty hard into Thokk with Manu. As you guys kind of leave that area, you do see that there is hustle and bustle amongst the ship to attempt to repair, see what the damage is, as far as if there was any damage with the crewmates. There seems to be some sort of chaos as you see girls running back and forth, trying to figure out and assess. As eventually, I'm going to guess you get to the upper deck. So, by the time you get up there, you do see that the two suns are starting to crest, and the dark blue sky is slowly starting to turn into sapphire and soon lighter colors. As you see the damage of the boat, I would say almost the complete front left side of the bow is completely just gnawed, and it looks like there's a big hunk that's been taken out of. And as you guys were going past different levels, you can actually see air coming through and the occasional wave come through as well, as this massive whale just crunched down.
We almost had him.
You felt that way too?
Yeah. Yeah, he was almost gone. If it wasn't for that whale.
You know, I shouldn't have went in. I should have listened to Alder and stayed back, used some more lightning. But I'm just kind of used to getting close, and I don't want to see you guys get hurt. You know, I'd rather be in the middle between a big giant flame skull thing than, you know, see you guys get hurt.
I know. What are we going to do now? Now that we know that thing's out to get us, and we know it can raise the dead, make the dead, I don't know what it does. And if it can control a whole whale, what else can it control?
I'm assuming a lot. But Drem, we almost beat him without Thokk. If we have Thokk, we're probably in a better place, you know?
You think he's going to come back just like that? No, man. He's going to come up with some new tricks. And he's seen ours now. Except for Thokk's. But he probably knows Thokk's. Because I think he's in his head. I don't think Thokk knows he's in his head. And I don't think Manu even knows that he's in Thokk's head. But I think Hotep is in Thokk's head. And what are we going to do about that? He's one of us. We can't get rid of him. I don't want to get rid of him. But he's like an unwilling spy. I mean, fuck, man. If only... And Dremel takes whatever's in his hand and just hits the ground with it. Let's say we're drinking.
I figured we would be.
Yeah, I take the glass and just like kind of squeeze it and slam it down enough that it starts to crack and shatter. if I had just gotten one more goddamn hit off, this wouldn't have been an issue. Things would be okay. And now, not only are we chasing someone, but someone's chasing us. And that's on me.
No, Dream, that's on all of us. You know, Thokk shouldn't have went by himself. You know, I should have shot a little more lightning than just go up and try and take a hunk out of him with my axe. You know, you can't hold yourself accountable for mistakes in battle. You know, heat of the moment. Hindsight's always 20/20. You know, you can't expect to do things in the moment that you can when you got your right mind about you.
And Dremel doesn't really know what to say, so he kind of just looks down into his drink and not dismissively, but apathetically agrees.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get him, Drim. You know, there's tricks that he didn't see from me. There's tricks that I'm sure Alder has. You know, I don't know if we were all really prepped for combat, you know, necessarily. So if he runs into us again and we're at full strength, you know, we could take a real big piece out of that guy.
But how do we trust Thokk now? Not Thokk the person, but Thokk the internal.
I think we just need to keep information on a need-to-know basis, you know?
It's going to cause a rift.
It's going to cause a rift, but, you know, if it's going to save innocent people, I think Thokk would be understanding of that.
You're right. You're right.
Let's not forget he's still Thokk, you know, he still cares.
Yeah. I just know what it's like to be left out. I don't want to do that to him.
No, of course not. I think maybe we need to see how he wants to handle it, you know? If this guy's really in his head, if he's really tracking us through Manu, then it doesn't really matter what he knows anyway, because he's still just going to find Manu and he's going to end up where we are, you know? So one way or another, we're going to run into him again.
You're right. And as Donner says that, you start to see Dremel's gears turning. Like, okay.
Oh, you've got an idea.
I've got the foundation for an idea.
Love it. I'm in full support.
We'll talk about it later though.
Okay.
For now, why don't we go help them finish up this reconstruction?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of our fault, but, you know.
What happened to not blaming ourselves for what happens in the heat of battle?
I mean, I just blame us for watching a whale devour a large chunk of your girlfriend's ship.
I mean, I don't want to put labels on it, but I mean, we do spend a lot of time together, and she's pretty neat. But I mean, I don't want to say anything that would. What? Oh man, this drink's so good. What? You need some more help with the ship? All right, I got you. All right, we should probably go help and stop talking about what we were just talking about then. All right, cool, let's go. Bye.
So, as the two of you start to get up, I need both of you to make a wisdom save for me.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Also 18.
As the two of you stand up, on both of your shoulders, where your shoulders meet, you feel a hand on each shoulder that gently squeezes. And as you turn around, you see Munnin kind of looking, and he goes, I am happy to see both of you together.
Oh, Munnin, you're here.
Yes. Why would I not be here?
I mean, it was just an eventful night.
Oh, you mean the whale?
Yeah, how do you know about the whale?
I saw it. It was a huge whale.
And you did nothing, Munnin.
What would you expect me to do?
I don't know. Pick its eyes out.
Those eyes are fairly big.
You're pretty big.
Thank you.
So do something with that size.
I am.
Munnin,
Yes.
do you come here with business, or are you just here to hang out?
No, I am just enjoying the sight right now.
Okay, that's fine. Drim, do you want to go help them with the ship?
Yeah. Munnin, why don't you come help use your size and rebuild the thing that you didn't help to defeat last night?
You're using your sarcasm again as a mechanism.
Oh, I'm using my sarcasm as a mechanism to say, hey, can you come help us?
I can certainly try.
All right. If you do a good job, maybe I'll stop calling you Paul. Maybe.
You have already stopped calling me Paul.
We'll see about that, Paul.
See, now you are doing it again.
You can't control me.
No, I cannot.
And Dremel walks away to go help with the repairs.
Goodbye, Drummel.
See you, Paul.
We are using our names.
Munnin, do you know? Do you have any word from anyone, literally anyone, from back home? Any word at all?
Oh, you're wondering for an update on what is going on with Helm.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Well, I was told to be here to watch you.
Okay.
Well, I could certainly try to get Grunfin, but once again, I do not know where he is. He was with your brother.
Doesn't Helm know where Talos would be? Couldn't he see him?
Yes. I believe there was a rescue mission to get him.
I'm assuming that was unsuccessful.
I do not know.
Okay.
Well, I would assume it would be unsuccessful if your cleric friend, her powers stopped.
Her powers didn't stop.
Exactly. If Talos was dead, her powers would not work.
That's a good point, Munnin. I didn't think about that.
That is because my brain is big.
It's almost as big as Dremel's over there.
He is a different kind of smart.
He's certainly got a kind of smart about him. If you could do me the favor, Munnin,
Sure.
consider this a big ask of a Prince of Asgard.
Yes.
Find out what's going on at home.
Okay. I can certainly do that.
Report back, because I don't know how to get home. But we're working on it.
And kind of looks at you and goes, okay.
You're more than welcome to hang out before you disembark on your quest.
Well, I would like to say goodbye to Dremel.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go help him with the missing half of the boat anyway.
Yes, it is a very big hole.
We're going to work on patching that, so I'll walk over.
As you kind of walk over, Munnin occasionally will hop behind you. As this is going on, Alder, Thokk, what are you guys doing? Besides Thokk literally passing the fuck out.
I'm pretty sure he was still unconscious at the time. I don't know if he had regained consciousness once we got him into the bed. But
yeah, you guys had that conversation about Manu.
Oh, correct. So, I would just kind of be like, so we're just going to hang out and rest for a little while. You definitely need some sleep, but anything I can help you out with before we kind of take a little bit of a rest?
No, I think I'm good. I just have a lot on my head right now
Oh,
and kind of hurting.
I mean, you should be. You had your sternum ripped from your body and then replaced with a new one. So I don't think that that's something that most people would assume feels good. I mean, unless they're into that, but that's a really weird specific fetish.
Yeah, no, it doesn't feel good.
I could assume as much, but you know, I know you like to keep to yourself, but if you ever want to let those thoughts that are traveling in your head get out of your head and just kind of use it to sound off on somebody, just know that you always can talk to me, even if you want to keep it in confidence.
Thanks, Alder.
Of course. And then I'll kind of like just go to the, you know, sink or whatever,
Mm.
wherever they have like any kind of like kind of like prep area, and just get him like at least a glass of water or something in case he needs it. And then I'll kind of get ready to go into my trance for 4 hours to get my long rest in.
Okay. As you kind of go up to the water basin and you look into the mirror, you see that your hair is all disheveled and kind of out of place. You're covered in soot and blood that may or may not be yours. As you kind of pour this glass and hand it over to him before you kind of crisscross and breathe in. Okay. So we will get back to the top of the ship. So Drummel and Donner, you're both kind of moving debris as Brock is kind of there and he's moving things to the side, and it seems like he's making different piles of, salvageable wood and just completely eviscerated wood and whatnot. As Munnin is kind of just sitting on the edge of either anything that's intact is kind of like he's hopping around and he's moving. So wherever Dremel goes, it looks like Munnin is following.
Can I do something for you?
You could be less angry at me.
Now, why would I do that?
I do not know why you're angry at me.
Well, it's because your brain's not quite as big as mine is. I guess you just
No,
can't
my brain
comprehend it.
My brain is fairly big.
All right, man. Whatever you say.
Are you not happy?
Pass.
Are you not excited?
I think that falls under happy.
Well, it is a new challenge for you, is it not?
It's a new challenge.
It's a new puzzle. You liked puzzles.
I do like puzzles, but it feels that the puzzles are ever growing, continuous, and repetitive at this point.
That is what makes them patterns.
Right. And I'd like a new pattern. How? Something to break it up. Look, I don't
I'm
want to
not
get
sure.
into this with you. Why? What are you doing? Stop. I'm trying to work here. Can you work and use your size or claws? I don't. How do you. Brock,
And Brock kind of looks at you and he goes, "Yeah."
what can a bird do to help out and make this one do it?
And Brock kind of like looks at you and then looks at Moonin and kind of straightens up and he goes, "Don't shit on the deck."
All right, that's a good start. Don't shit on the deck. I don't know if you were planning to, but now you can't or you'll get in trouble.
Well, birds do not have bladders, so it would be odd if I could hold it.
Well, that's fine. Shit doesn't come from the bladder.
No, but other things do.
Right, but the rule was to not shit on the deck, not pee on the deck. So, if your brain's so big, you probably would have known that, but I guess you're just not as smart as you think you are.
Well, I don't eat food, so I don't shit.
Perfect. Just, I don't know, bring that log, or not that log, bring that plank over here and fucking just keep bringing it back and forth.
Will that make you happy?
Yes, Munnin. It'll make me happy.
I'm glad you called me by my name.
Tit for tat.
Okay. And you see this very large bird bounce and eventually take up this plank in its beak, and it's able to actually, with its neck, move it up in a parallel kind of line, and it kind of scuttles very slowly as it brings it over, and then picks it back up and goes back to where he found it.
Dude, seeing that happen, Dremel gets a little chuckle, and it's like, oh, all right, we're getting pretty good at that. Can you take it up to the outlook now? I think some of that got damaged from the whale too.
Oh, I can certainly look.
And if you can, well, just take the wood up there. Don't even look. Just take the wood up there, and if you can do some sort of spiral in the sky, that I know that would make me happy, and probably make Donner happy too.
I do want to make Prince Thor happy, just like I want to make you happy.
Yes, thank you, Munnin. So take that plank and take it up to the lookout, and then bring it back down.
And you see this inquisitive look, and Munnin kind of tests its wingspan and trying to get up. And it's at this point it notices it can't fly up, then looks at you inquisitively as its wings stretch larger and larger. And eventually it gets to the point where it can support not only his weight, but the plank's weight before shooting up into the crow's nest.
Well, damn. You got quite the wingspan.
And then you slowly see him come back down. I can. And you see the wings kind of come back to its normal state. Donner, meanwhile, you're watching this interaction of Dremel ordering this bird around as you're like lugging planks of wood and material. And I don't know how you feel about that, but it looks very amusing to the outside looker.
Donner would just kind of shake his head. It's Dremel and Munnin, so it's kind of par for the course.
Okay. So a few hours of this kind of passes of clearing debris, Dremel occasionally ordering Munnin to do something. And eventually you guys are able to clear out a good portion of debris. And at this point, Brock is assessing the damage. And it's at this point, Alder, that your rest has finished. So it's been about 4 hours of moving and sorting and manual labor in the suns. And eventually, Alder, I would assume you would come up to the higher deck as Thokk is just knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, of course.
And you kind of see where all of this is kind of going. And it's at this point you see Dremel is just ordering this Paul around. And it looks like Paul's doing more work than Dremel is doing.
Capitalism.
Sounds about right. And then I'll kind of just walk up to Donna, since it seems as though Dremel is kind of occupied, being a little bit of I guess, like a boss, a pit boss, or something along the lines of that. At this point.
Taskmaster.
There you go, Taskmaster. Of course. Why wouldn't it be? So I'll meander over to Donna and let him know that if he wants to go get some shut-eye, go get some rest. You need it.
I do need it. Here, and I'm gonna kind of hand some planks to Alder.
Gotcha. You guys just working with Brock to kind of assess the damage and fix things up as best we can?
As best we can, you know. Just kind of clearing debris. Most of it's gone now. Hopefully, it's just kind of putting it back together now.
Gotcha. Notice anything fishy at all?
Was that a pun or like this?
It's
fish down
it's
there?
like a partial pun, but also at the same time, we did just fight a giant undead whale and a skeleton guy. So
It's true. We did fight both of those things. No, other than like fish passing by in the boat as we're kind of just coasting along. Not much. Munnin's here, as you can see. And Drem is being Drem with Munnin. So,
Yeah, I would say go ahead and grab him, and you guys both get some rest. I'll let you sleep for a little while, and then I'll come get you in a couple hours.
yeah, could you grab him? I'm going to make a pit stop on my way to the bunk. And I just kind of want to get it done so I can go crash.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it. And Donna's going to walk off. And once he gets downstairs, he's going to start heading towards the captain's quarters.
Okay. So, Drem, what are you doing with Munnin as Alder has come to relieve you of your post?
Seeing that Alder's up, I would look around for Munnin. How close is he, and how close is Alder?
Munnin has not left, like, your side.
Okay, he's still right next to me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and how close is Alder right now?
I would say maybe, like, 50 feet.
Okay, then seeing him up, I'll kind of do a little nod, a little wave, and then get down on one knee and get close to Munnin and say, "Hey, I haven't. Wait, real quick, Alder, Mike, did we know that you sent off Aya?
I
Did
mean,
you
you would have definitely noticed that she's not there anymore.
But did you tell
told
us?
us.
I believe I did.
Because he
tell
read
you
the
guys.
letter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's right. I
Then-
read the letter to you.
Then I'll kneel down next to Munnin and say, "Hey, so all this going and getting and bringing back has been training for you. Alder, his pet bird is off on a big epic adventure right now, and I think he's feeling a bit lonely. So can you hang out with him? Just pretend to be Aya. You met Aya.
I did.
Yeah, just pretend to be Aya. Do your best Aya impression.
I am Aya. I am a hawk.
Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go sleep.
it.
Not next to you. I mean, it'd be great. Just do this for me, please.
I do have a mission that does supersede yours.
But this mission helps my mission.
I know, but I am also getting information about home.
Huh.
I was told to.
You were told to gather information about home?
Yes. And then bring it back to Prince Thor.
All right. What is it? That's not going to happen right now.
Why not?
Why were you following me around then? If you need to go get information, go get information. If you're trying to
Well-
help us out, then help us out. Go hang out with Alder.
Well, I can stay longer with Alder, but I wanted to spend time with you.
All right. Well, I'm going to be sleeping, so that's not a whole lot of quality time that we'd be spending together anyway. So if you just want to hang out with Alder, I'll be back in a couple hours, and we can... do birds drink?
I am not a bird, but no, I do not drink.
All right. You'll start. I'm going to go sleep, okay? I got some thinking to think.
Okay. It is what you are best at.
Thank you.
You are welcome. And
Pitter
so,
patter, pitter patter, pitter patter.
pitter patter, pitter patter. Clip clop, clip clop, clip clop.
Thud, 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 thud.
Okay, so you start heading out. Now, are you going back to the room? Or are you going to where you normally sleep? I only ask because that is also where Donner is going, so I need to know what's going on.
No, I would just go back. I wouldn't even go back to the aqua room. I'd try to find another room because I really want to be able to sit down and have a heavy think.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and roll an investigation, and then we will get to that in a few. So, Alder, as Drummel eventually kind of just passes you, you see Moon kind of hop over towards you and look at you inquisitively.
Hi, Munnin. How you doing?
Hello, Alder. I was told to hang out with you.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, it is. I do not understand why. It does not seem like we have a lot in common.
I mean, I have a pet bird, but she's kind of on her own way right now. So, uh, I mean, I feel like Dremel's kind of a smart guy. Maybe he thought something along the lines of that. But aside from that, wouldn't really know too much. I mean, you don't have to hang out with me. I'm going to be here working on the ship. So,
Oh, I am good at that. I have been training.
training like how?
Oh, I have been moving things from here to there.
Have things been getting done with those things, or are you just moving them back and forth?
Mostly I have been moving them back and forth. I do not know how they are helping.
I could tell you right now that you probably helped in more ways than you realize by really not helping at all.
Well, I want him to like me.
I know that's something that's going to help you win his favor. I don't know what it is with him and birds, but
No, I think it's something with me.
I mean, he wasn't too thrilled with Aya most of the time, and he even threatened to make her food on a couple occasions. Not like cook her food, like turn her into food. Obviously, we worked past that, but
He does threaten a lot.
I think that's like a term of endearment for him. If he threatens you, it means he likes you.
No, I have seen him act those out before.
Sorry, I don't know what I saw there. Must have been something off in the distance.
That is odd.
Yeah, you and me both. I don't know. Dremel's a very interesting character. I've been trying to get a read on him for quite some time since we've been traveling together. But he, when it comes to Dremel, he's very open and reserved at the same time, if that makes sense.
It does not. But what you said before did. Dremel is a very interesting character.
Of course. I mean, I think we all are relatively interesting. I mean, hell, Donna's a goddamn god, so didn't put that in my bingo card to start this.
Well, you might have to add more spaces to your bingo card.
Okay. What do you mean by that? Do you mean that things are going to get really hairy here soon?
I do not know. But if someone that was in your party was a god, and you did not notice it, you should probably add more spaces to your bingo card.
You're not wrong. I guess anything could happen.
Because you don't.
Yes.
And but yeah, I mean, I guess anything could really happen now. I guess we're going to need to figure out where the hell we're going next, which I think is probably going to be Donna, who knows the path there, I assume.
Hopefully. Can you do me a favor, Alder?
Could certainly try.
Yes, you can. Can you do me a favor and say goodbye to both of them for me?
Yeah. Where are you going to be going?
I have a mission to uphold.
Can I ask what the mission is?
Sure.
What's the mission?
I was ordered to go back home to Asgard to get some information from Prince Lord.
Okay, that's fine by me. I just wanted to make sure that when I let them know that you said goodbye, what the reason would be. Do you know when we might see you again?
I do not. Hopefully I am not slain.
I think I speak for everybody when I say we hope that doesn't happen either.
I feel like that's true for some of you.
Yeah, I know you're referring to Dremel.
Sure.
No, I think now that we actually know who you are and know that, you know, you're more than just a bird and you kind of become a bit of an asset to us as a group, and I think you definitely help Donna's state of mind in, you know, knowing what's going on as he just relearned all this information about himself. So I'll be sure to let them know, and travel safe. We appreciate you.
Yes, I will. Will you also relay a message to Dremel for me?
To Dremel. Yeah, let me write it down.
He says something phonetically to you that is in Giant.
Okay.
Okay? Just
Am
make
I
sure
writing
he's-
this? Oh, okay. All right. Just I guess let me know what that was, so that way I can say it to him.
No, he said it phonetically. Just, you would have to do your best. I'm going to make you roll an intelligence roll to see if you can repeat it.
Oh, that's why I asked to write it down, so I could write it down what I think it looks like phonetically.
I don't have hands.
No, I'm writing it down.
Okay, so you write this out phonetically best you can.
I don't have hands.
Somehow you managed to carry giant planks, though.
With my beak. I'm not dexterous with it. Just strong. So Munnin kind of looks at you, Alder, and goes, hopefully I will see you soon.
I hope the same.
Try not to die.
Likewise.
Thank you. And you see massive wings as Munnin shoots off into the sky. And as you kind of follow him, he starts going straight up, and eventually this kind of, it's almost like a tube of stardust kind of hits him as dissipates.
I'm just kind of curious, like, how fast was he flying? Like, was he booking it?
Fairly fast, but it doesn't look like it was strenuous.
Okay, now I gotta learn how to wild shape into something like that. Fly crazy. And then from there, I'll just kind of go seek out Brock and see if he can kind of give me some instructions on where to help. And then obviously, if they said that a lot of the things were kind of handled at this point, so if they don't need my assistance, I'd really just kind of be monitoring, kind of patrolling around the deck, seeing if I see anything that looks out of place or weird or anything alarming.
Okay. Eventually, when you get to Brock, Brock has moved everything, and he's like, Alder, it's good to see you. I see that you have survived our whale encounter.
Yeah, what a time that was.
Oof, wouldn't know. Was trying to get all the water out of the low ship. Anyway, trying to figure out how exactly we can fix any gestures to the giant gaping hole. All of this. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the most skilled carpenter, but I did build my own house, so anything I can try and do to help, I'm more than happy to assist with.
Mm. And he kind of just sits and he's like, how did you build your house?
I mean, I basically kind of have like kind of somewhat extravagant, I guess you could say, treehouse kind of in the woods that I live in since I've moved away, and take down a couple trees, sand a couple planks, put everything together.
And you see him and he kind of sits and he thinks and he goes, yeah. Well, we're going to have to figure out how we can make that material. And he points to it's a decent-ish pile of usable wood, but it's not enough to completely repair the ship. And him going, multiply that and then make it fit on that. And he gestures back over to the hole.
I mean, what we're going to need to primarily focus on is definitely going to be taking care of the lower areas, making sure that those are plugged first. Because if we plug those first, that'll keep the water from getting in. But that's just the only knowledge I have on boats. I'm not a seafaring gentleman. But trying to think of if there's anything I can do to try and help. Because I would have just taken a long rest, but I don't think I could conjure anything. And Druidcraft, I wouldn't be able to cast it enough times to actually generate anything useful.
Shit. So,
Let's see.
While you think of that, I'll have us move to the captain's quarters as Donner is heading over there.
Uh, once I get to her quarters, I'll just knock on the door.
And you do feel like when you put your hand to the door, you do feel it rumbling and vibrating before you knock, and you hear, "One moment." And after a few moments, you see the captain kind of peek her head through the door, and she goes, "Your Majesty."
Oh, Captain, are we bound to do this forever?
Well, so one of us dies, right? And she opens the door, and you see there's this massive kind of opening in the middle of the room of these kind of like trap doors that looks like it takes up most of that hallway. And she goes, "Mind your step. I just have to wait for it to cool down before I lock it back up again." And you see her, and she's taking like buckets from outside of where the her window is, and like drawstringing it up before putting water over this massive glass and gold kind of whirring creation thing.
It's quite impressive. I guess that's what kind of got us out of Dodge.
Yeah, it did for now.
Out of curiosity, where are we?
Well, I kind of just booked it, so you're gonna have to give me a little bit on that.
Do you know maybe what direction we went, or like anything? Or we just kind of went straight?
I turned the engine on and let it go. Something was eating my ship. And almost, I would assume, you.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion, I guess. I haven't seen something undead in a long time.
And you see her kind of throw her arms up. None of us have. And you see her, and she gets over to this small box that she opens, and she goes, "We are barreling northwest. I just don't know where northwest."
Okay. When you figure out where we are, feel free to let me know. We've got, not to undermine your business or state of your vessel, we've got some pressing matters to attend to.
And she kind of looks, and she goes, "I'm trying very hard not to lose my cool at all with you. And that's not because of who you are, but mostly because of what you are."
And what does what I am have to do with any of this?
Haven't really fought a god before.
Should be the easiest god fight of your life.
I don't know that.
I do. Captain, I'm not here to pour salt in the wound. I made Dremel a promise. And I just want to make sure we're on track for that promise.
And what's that promise?
I would let him help him kill the man in crimson. And it just so happens that it's been about a week we've been on the boat. In about 3-4 weeks, we know exactly where he's going to be.
And where's he going to be?
In Valoria.
Mm-hmm. And you see her, and she kind of goes around, and she goes, "So, what makes you think that this red crimson king man, is going to just waltz up to the gates of Valoria and do whatever it is that he does, enough to make Dremel want to kill him?" Yes.
I don't think he's going to. I know he's going to.
then I feel like he's going to see the broadside of a hammer. Your hammer that I've heard about.
That's what I'm worried about.
Why should you be worried about that? This is just a king.
He's going after Anya.
Anya has taken down an Iron Draco Lich.
Yeah, so I've heard.
Single-handedly.
Yeah, no, I've heard. Yeah.
Does Val know?
No.
Okay.
See, the stress headache you're getting right now, yes. Everything you're thinking, yes. He's either completely stupid and he's going to get crushed into the earth, or there's an actual real possibility he can kill Anya. And if you give someone with that much power without a weapon of a god, what that person can achieve is unimaginable.
Okay. So we need to patch up the ship fast. And we need to get to Valoria to hopefully intercept the Red King from possibly killing the Queen.
That's the plan.
Maybe she'll invite me to dinner.
She better.
Haven't really been invited again after. It's not important, but what is important is we have this information. I can tell my father. He can tell the council that she happens to be on, and perhaps she might be able to prepare.
I have to tell Val. Do with the information what you will. I wanted to come to you first. As is your right, Captain. I'm trying to keep everything as above board as I can.
Well, I appreciate it.
And I'll just kind of bow my head, Captain.
Prince?
I'll walk out. I'll go to sleep before I talk to Val.
Okay.
Because Donna's exhausted.
Yeah.
It's the first time in thousands of years he's used his powers, and
You are very wiped, yeah.
yeah. He blew his load a little bit.
And now he's tired.
And now he's sleepy.
Gross.
So, Drummel, go ahead and roll an investigation to see if you can find an empty room.
I rolled it before. I got
sorry.
23.
Nope, no empty rooms.
Eventually
single
you
one.
are able to find a very recluse room. It seems that there is a theme with this one as well. It seems that it is full to the brim of these kind of undecaying, effervescent, ever-flowing flowers, as it's just filled to the brim of just different flowers.
Huh. Kind of nice. What do I smell when I
You
inhale?
smell different flowers of, I would say, rose, of lily, orchid, and honeysuckle.
All right, I can make this work. And I go around to the different flowers, and I take there's 3 different kinds of flowers. 4. So I take equal amounts in like weight of each flower of their petals. Not enough to kill any of the flowers, but just a representational grouping of each one.
Okay.
And what's in the room?
I would say it's very similar to the aquatic room. So there is a very large bed that it seems like the comforter itself are these kind of silken hand-sewn flowers that are on it. Inside there is a massive tub that looks like it could comfortably fit 2 or more people. And of course a vanity and another kind of armchair. And it does have a fireplace very similar to the aquatic room, where instead of a bluish flame, it's giving off more of a pinkish flame.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go with the handful of rose petals or petals in general. I'm going to hold them to the side and cast Frostbite on the chair to try to make it kind of an icy, kind of something similar to my home.
Okay.
So I cast that just to coat it. I don't expect it to be pure ice, but at least something that's like chilly, you know.
Yeah.
So I'd like to do that, and then, you know what? I'm gonna place the petals around in a mixture, in a circle around the chair, cast
Okay.
Mage Hand, and just have the Mage Hand slowly, or like, just kind of pick them up, throw them in the air, almost like a flower girl,
Yeah.
just letting them fall down.
Okay.
As I sit down in the chair and just start to think, ba-bow, ba-bow, ba-bow. Because when I use my mind, take a step at a time, I can do anything that I want
That
to
you
do.
want a blue. Sorry, dude. Because you're blue.
Because I'm blue.
It's a Dremel's clue.
A clue.
What's
Gee
that,
dang.
Dremel? You want to watch?
So I'm sitting in the chair, and I just start thinking of how we can use, how do we use this situation to our advantage? With assuming that Thokk is, in fact, essentially a spy device, but he's still part of our team, and he's not someone that we want to get rid of it in the slightest. How do we make that part of our victory?
Okay.
So I'm just going to sit there and kind of, not my morning meditation, but more of a eyes open, thoughtful meditation, just
Okay.
using my mind's eye or whatever, and picturing all I can.
Okay. So, eventually, Thokk, amongst all of this, you do have your full rest. Your rest is fairly quiet. There are no interruptions of drums or buffing sand. As your eyes slowly open, you notice that the room is fairly empty, aside from Donner his chest slowly rising and falling as he's sleeping in the armchair. As you kind of sit up, and you feel this kind of pain aching in your chest from the makeshift surgery that you received. And this is the first time in quite some time that you have had a quiet moment to yourself.
Okay. I look around, and I'm assuming it's early in the morning.
It is
And-
actually, I would say, late morning, early afternoon.
Okay. Is there any windows in this room?
Yeah, there are windows in the bathroom.
Okay. I will grab my armor, my shield, and my mace, and try to put them on
Okay.
the ray of light coming in through the window.
Okay.
And I see that Donner's sleeping, so to not interrupt him, I cast a bubble of silence around him so he can't hear anything.
Okay.
And then I get on my knees, put my hands on my mace, close my eyes, and I say, I'm sorry. I have acted like a child throwing a tantrum. I thought I could do everything without your assistance, and obviously I was wrong. I thought I could change the world more than I have the capability to on my own. And I've made mistakes. I've blame them on you when they obviously weren't. This land has not had undead in quite a while and quite a long time. And I fear that I've unleashed death in a way that this land has never seen before. And I've brought that back. And I feel responsible. It's my fault. And I thought that whatever anger and rage and power that's within me, I thought that was enough, but it clearly isn't. And I need your guidance. And I need your strength. Everything that you provide me, I know now that you do it for a reason. And although I've been distant and questioning my faith, I never completely lost it. But now I know that stepping away from it is the wrong decision. And I use divine intervention.
Okay.
And say, I feel like with your help and my strength from my emotions, it could be a step in the right direction to putting this darkness, evil, death, whatever it is, back in its place. If you could guide me or find a way to use my armor in a way that can help, that would be great. I've been looking for people to enchant it so I can instantly take it off and put it on, and no luck. But if there's any way you can help, whether it's guiding me in the right direction or something, anything, I know I'm the last person to ask for any favors or whatnot, but a question unasked is pointless. So here goes. And let's see what I roll. I don't even want to look at it. 54. It was worth a shot.
It was definitely worth a shot. So, as you concentrate, and your prayer is reached out to Patlorg, you feel, for the very first time, and once again, a very long time, you feel in the center of your chest, kind of where your sternum is.
The big sternum?
Your new sternum, yes, your
Pig sternum.
You feel this very warm, pulsating sensation as it kind of washes over your shoulders and all the sore muscles and damaged muscle that you had experienced, as you feel that your leg that had been crippled before feels a lot stronger than it did before.
Okay. Thank you. I will do my best to make things right on all accounts. I can't promise that I'll be perfect right away, but I've been in worse places. So, you know that. But thank you for not fully giving up on me when I was about to give up on myself. And I slowly, well, there's silence around him. I'll grab my armor, my shield, and my mace, and I'll put it back against the bed where I was sleeping. and I'll just wear my just casual clothes and head. Oh, are they blood soaked?
What's that?
I don't care. If they're blood soaked.
Yes, they are. They are a little bit damaged and a little worse for wear, but
Casual murder.
Then I would probably just wear the pants and just go up shirtless. I don't care.
okay.
I'll just wear my
Adios
holy
mio.
symbol, holy symbol around my neck. Obviously the scars there, tattoos showing, and I'll just head to the deck and see what the extent of the damage is and how I can help.
Okay. Eventually, when you get there, you do see that everything is kind of to shit. You hadn't seen the extent of the damage until this particular moment. Excuse me. There it is. And you actually see Alder and Brock kind of sitting, and Brock is just kind of pondering, while Alder, you're kind of surveying, and like you said, you were kind of guarding and securing the upper deck.
Just
wrap your head around things. Yes.
just as even though I know it won't be too helpful, but it probably will help a little bit. In my long rest, knowing that we were going to be trying to repair some of the damage, I did prepare mending.
Okay.
So that way I can try and use that to try and help in other areas where we might be more scarce on materials, to try and help bridge the gap, to try and make things go a little bit faster.
Okay. Yeah. And you certainly do that. You do find that there are different kind of I would say places where you can mend, that you can keep things from waterlogging or being overtaken by water.
Possibly some planks that can reattach that got split in half and stuff like that.
Exactly. And eventually, you do see Thokk joins you as you're kind of doing this work.
Seeing Alder doing this, I too have mending, so I would assist mending where I can. If there's any water on the ship, anywhere we are able to patch, and if there's still water on the ship, I also have create or destroy water. So I would start destroying any water that is just either filling up the ship or just stagnant, unable to be paled out or whatnot, and just start assisting that way.
Okay. And you're able to do so. And it takes a few hours of doing this, of clearing out the water, mending as you go, to where eventually, Donner, you do wake up. I will say you can kind of take the benefits of a full rest because you did sleep, and it won't be fully necessary to have a full rest, so it's okay. So after about 4 hours or so, you're able to kind of get up, and things are a little sore, but you do take the benefit of a long rest. And then Drummel, I don't know what you're doing for the next few hours, but that is entirely up to you.
I would have done that deep think and meditation up until I just started to pass out.
Okay.
Slept in the chair until I woke up.
Okay. So you take about 4 hours as well between thinking and sleeping and moving, and I will give you the benefit of a long rest as well.
Then when I wake up, I'd go back up to the top deck, see how the repair effort's going.
Yeah. And it's at this point you kind of see everyone moving, and you see that everything is kind of slowly being repaired, but not to obviously its full extent. But you do see Alder and Thokk are on the deck of the ship.
Oh, morning, fellas.
Afternoon.
How's it going?
Well, I feel much better now that I've had some time to think and sleep. And first to Thokk, I wanted to say I'm sorry we were so, well, let me not speak for the group. I'm sorry that I was so quick to judge or quick to assume that
Well,
Manu was a a spy, if you will.
You have nothing to be sorry for. Um, he doesn't understand much of what's going on with him. I obviously don't really understand what's going on with him or myself or our link. The fact that this thing has his body and uses his last name, you have every right to make a hypothesis that I was not in the mental state of thinking of at the time.
Hey. Now it's all right. It's all right. What I want you to know, and I put my hand on his shoulder and look deep into his eyes and say, is I have no thought that Manu might be a secret spy. You understand what I'm saying? There's no part of me that thinks that he might be a secret spy. Okay?
Okay.
Then I do another, like a solid grasp on his shoulder and say, great, all right, cool. Well, how much more work do we have to do? I see I can do a little bit over there. I'll take care of that. And I start walking over, pull out my dagger, and I cast ensnaring strike on it.
Yeah.
And then I just look for an area that has like maybe a couple feet of a gap. Not something to retain water, but something that is like a barrier.
Okay.
Do I see something like that?
Yeah, I would say so.
Cool. Then with that ensnaring strike, I stab it. And
Okay.
and with that stab, thorns come out and kind of close up the area, kind of weaving in to create a natural wall.
Gotcha. Okay.
See,
Not so hard, fellas.
At this point, would Donna have been on his way back up already?
That's a Donner question.
No,
Nah,
he's
man.
Just shaking his head now.
Donna's gonna take his time.
Donna tired.
Donna's sleepy.
No, kill it with fire. Or
He-
burn the ship to the ground.
I don't know what's going on tonight with my voice. No, he would be taking his time, like I had said, out of character. This was the first time he had actually gotten to use like god powers for a long time. So he's just kind of realizing that, and also kind of coming to grips with the fact that he's probably not anywhere near as strong as he was when he was younger, just because he's been gone for so long. So he's dealing with some kind of internal. I would say he'd probably take like another hour, and then he would head up to see if he could help some more. But he's going to take his time for sure.
Okay.
So,
No, just kind of double checking because I have the message from Munnin, and I think I'd rather deliver it to both of them at the same time. So,
that's right.
including the message that Munnin had just for Dremel.
Okay. So as the three of you are kind of speaking and convening, eventually Amari kind of comes up to the top deck and kind of clears her throat as the three of you are kind of working, and the three of you kind of go there and look behind you and see her, and she makes eye contact with you, Thokk, and goes, the captain would like to see you, if you do not mind.
Of course. Would she mind waiting a couple minutes? I am kind of not decent for her liking, potentially.
Please, do not dilly-dally and take your time, but
I will not.
yes, you may, and she kind of points at your like chest and abs and whatnot, and she goes, that contract.
Thank you. And I'll head back to the room and quickly, but I'll tidy up, not looking as least shitty as I can.
And you look tired as fuck. Every time you look in that mirror, you're like, I have been through the fucking ringer. But Amari does wait for you outside of the the room, and eventually, when you kind of come out, you're in, I would say, a different kind of regular garb. As Donner, you're slowly kind of getting up as you just see Thokk is just like checking his breath, licking his hair down, going back up, kind of matting his hair back down.
And I'll just kind of call over. Is Tibrin making an appearance unexpectedly?
No, no, he's not. I don't even know where he is. Green Coast was the last place I told the Horizon to go to. So, no, I have been summoned to Creed's quarters. So I want to make sure to not have her on, or not be on her bad side again. So I am going to mind my P's and Q's.
All right. Well, good luck, Thokk.
Thanks. I hope I don't need it, but it's well appreciated.
Better to have it than not need it, you know? So, good luck.
Thank you. And before I walk out the door, I'll be like, Your Highness. And I close the door behind me.
I'm not. Oh my god.
My
You
lord.
guys are so...
Fucking nuts.
My lord.
So Amari kind of walks silently with you, and eventually you're hit with that sage and citrus as you're outside of Creed's quarters, as Amari lightly raps at the door, and you hear, "Enter." And she slowly opens the door, and you do see that everything seems to be as it is. You do not see, unfortunately, the engine, as it has cooled down in these hours. But you see Creed is in her full regal kind of pirate gear. She's wearing her coat. Her hat is on her desk. Her hair is up. And she is sitting in her chair pensively as you kind of start walking across, as the door softly clicks behind you. And she looks at you and she goes, "First off, are you okay?"
I've been better. But I will survive. Thank you.
Second, what the fuck was that thing?
So it calls itself death. It's quite a long story. Can we sit?
And she gestures towards the seat in front of her.
So I sit down, I remove my hat, put it on my lap, and I start telling her the tale of how I got arrested in Flamingo Bay, how I ended up in Stoneward, how I met Manu from the escape. Pretty much I'm filling her in on all the major plot points, especially with Manu, like how he died, how I started seeing him, the dreams that I started having, the shared hallucination dreams that I've been having with Manu, all the way up to the name of Hotep and what happened last night, hearing the voice, going out thinking I could handle it on my own, and then how everyone came to my rescue after I did all the sunlight and shit, and how we got to where we are now.
And the whole time she's very silent. And the expression across her face is very hard to read, even with your high perception. And when you finish your story, there's a silence that kind of hangs in the air before she slowly stands up and she gets up, looks like she's about to say something. And then you see her leave very briefly off to her office. And she comes back with this very small, it's almost the size of a grapefruit, of pure marble and gold. It looks like it's very intricate. And you see her very gently place she doesn't even take it out of the cloth wrapping that it's in, as she places it upside down and takes the cloth away. And she looks at you and she looks back at it and she goes, "Touch."
I don't want to. Okay. And I put my hand on the grapefruit thing.
on the massive sphere as she also places her hand on the stone. I need you to make a wisdom save that will be very high.
Trying to be on her good graces and to trust each other in this newfound partnership. Can I choose to fail it?
You can choose to fail it. So
Then I
you
will
do
do
feel
that.
this poking and prodding, and you immediately just let it wash over you. And the ricketing and the creaking of the ship and the waves that are crashing on it are soon kind of replaced with this almost empty white noise of just pure nothing. This warmth that you felt within the ship, you are in kind of a more isolated area. As you open one eye and you see Creed is standing next to you in her garb. And you are in a very massive, I would say, dark room. And there are pedestals that are very high and above that encircle the room that you're in.
Where are we?
And you kind of see Creed's hand go up, and she goes, "So, I figure it would be important to have Thokk here. I think that it is important that he discusses with you what he had discussed to me, that I had debriefed you all before summoning him. I think he has information that is quite important. Thokk, this is I know this is going to be a lot. This is a council of sorts.
Of what
And-
sorts?
And you hear this very kind of regal and robust voice just go, oh my love, would you please just get on with the introductions? And the captain you see her grit her teeth, and this like flush of heat just kind of reaches her cheeks as she goes, yes, father, this is my father, Alistair Creed, the avatar of Soon. As you see this tiefling, I would say is no older than maybe 40, late 40s, early 50s, but he looks like he could be 30. He has this very pink rose, creamy kind of complexion, these completely green eyes that kind of almost pierce you, and his hair is half black and half platinum white that's pulled back. As he is covered in this armor. It looks like it's leather, and it looks like it's almost like stained glass, and you would recognize that there was a copy of that armor in Captain Creed's quarters in a display case.
Would I know her history with? No, that wasn't me that she talked to about her father, or was it? Okay, then never mind. Okay. I just bow my head, slightly confused, still trying to figure out where the fuck
you
are
see
we.
him and he's like, yes, yes. And it's at this point you hear a very familiar and warm voice as you hear, oh, lad, you look wistful where? As you hear Duke and you see this very small, tired-looking dwarf. He is completely in his home armor, which you have never seen him in. His hair is completely pulled back, and there are blacks and grays, and he looks at you with his kind of green-gray eyes, and you see this very small smile on his face as he goes,
I look. Oh, sorry.
no, you're okay. He just looks at you.
I just look at Duke, and in the broken dwarvish that he taught me, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
And you see the smile and the smirk, and he goes, well, there was a meeting that was called, and so it is my duty to observe.
A meeting of who? Avatars?
Well, there's undead back.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
And the gods back.
The gods.
A god.
Oh.
And
Oh yeah, he's still a god, isn't
it's at this point you hear another familiar voice, and you hear like, yeah, what he's referring to is the blonde one. As you see this full plate mailed half orc of Ketra with this janked up ear going, and he's got like, he looked dirtier before, like he smelled because I could smell him, but now he's like a god now. He's like weird, you know. And you just see Duke, and he's like, please, it looks like you've already met Ketra there. And you see Ketra, he's like, hello. You look
he?
like,
Hello.
you look terrible.
Thanks. You look not so bad yourself.
Thank you. I've been trying to like sun more and get more greens. And it's at this point there is a a clear throat as you see these massive wings that outstretch very far and wide, and they're completely white. And at the ends, they have black tips that you see electricity just kind of encircling and crackling through. As this very stern-looking woman, she's completely adorned in gold plate mail, and resting on this kind of desk is this massive hammer. As this woman looks at you and she goes, so I've heard there's a god amongst our midst.
There is.
There is a new person claiming to be death.
There is that as well.
So, tell me, how long have you known about this Hotep?
Well, I've been having dreams for months, years now, but I didn't know of the name Hotep till quite recently, shortly before we stowed away on the Wandering Roads.
And she looks over at Captain Creed, and she kind of nods and does not make eye contact with her at all. And so, what did you learn anything from your encounter with this Hotep?
He's definitely powerful. Undead. And he DM remind me, he wants to take the throne for himself.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. Okay. He wants all previous deities of death, both old and present, out of the picture.
So, son of Lucifer, Death, and the Raven Queen.
Yep.
And you see her gaze kind of break, and she looks to her right. And at this point, you kind of see they're about 6'2", and they are completely clad in head-to-toe armor. They have kind of this almost like what I can describe as like a conquistador's kind of helmet, like full helmet. It kind of comes to a point at the end, and this silent figure just kind of looks over at Anya, and she looks back over at you. Interesting. Now, has your power diminished at all? You worship Pelor, yes, as Duke has told me.
Yes. And yes to both questions. I had strayed away for a while, thinking I could take care of it myself, since it was a potential problem that I helped cause.
So the question lies in, Were your powers waning because you had lost faith simply? Or Palor has been wounded? I can assume that this beast goes after death and he seems to have a grudge with you. What's stopping him from pounding down the door of Palor and slaying him there?
To be honest, I don't know. I'm not an avatar. I'm a cleric. You guys are closer to gods than we are. If anyone would know, does anyone know who the avatar of Pelor is? Speak to them.
We don't have an avatar of Pelor. Pelor's guidance and Pelor's following has waned in passing years. As more people lose faith in Pelor, he becomes older and more disheveled and decrepit. And eventually, when the last person prays to Pelor finally breathes their last breath, Pelor will simply fade off into obscurity.
Well, then back to your original question. I don't know. I figured it was because I was losing faith. But who's to say it's not the latter? I'm assuming as death gets stronger, life is going to get weaker. No matter what incarnation of death it is.
There seems to be an imbalance. It seems that what we had learned previous, that gods were being slain, we had thought it being of darker, more sinister relations. However, if you're telling me that this person who is claiming to be death wants to become the new death and is coming after death, we could assume that both sides are being attacked. No?
Seems like it.
Question lies if it's the same person.
Could potentially be. I remember, I look at Duke, I'm like, could this be something that takes years upon years to happen?
And Duke kind of looks at you and he goes, things have been set in motion for quite some time. When I found you, the Raven Queen was already getting weaker.
That's what I'm.
Up power.
That's what I'm thinking, because Rufio back then had mentioned that he couldn't contact her as well. That he was going to try to find out what was going on with her.
Aye. And no one stepped foot in the Shadowfell since your friend accidentally happened to pen it.
But what do we do now? You guys are the strongest amongst any worshippers I know. At least a few of you that I do know.
And Anya kind of stands up and she goes, I have to prepare. And I have to be ready for whatever dark incursion may come. What's to say this Hotep doesn't stomp its way through Valoria?
I know about the date and everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I look at her, I'm like, Your Highness?
And she looks at you and she goes, and she doesn't say anything. She just glares.
The steps have started to take motion in just that. It is said that in 4 weeks' time, he's to be reaching you, actually.
Death is.
in a way, but not Hotep Death himself. The man in crimson.
And you see her grip this massive hammer, and you see it. She lifts it up, and it's almost like a feather. And she
Please.
points it at you, and she goes, "What man in crimson?"
The party I've been traveling with, one of ours, Dremel, has been seeking this man since he has slaughtered his people, family, and we've all been helping each other in one way or another with the tasks at hand, and we've discovered that this man is coming to kill you, actually. We were
And-
trying to stop it.
You hear the grip on the hammer tighten, and she goes, "And how long have you known this for?"
Not long. 2 days? 2 weeks? 3 days? Whatever Dremel's pointing at me. I would
2
know
weeks,
this. I
2
just don't
weeks.
remember.
2
Okay,
weeks.
2 weeks. Carlos doesn't remember, but Thokk would remember.
2 weeks.
2 sternums. I mean,
Oh, fuck, shit.
Do you
Two
want this
little
one
boy
back? I can grab a
detectives.
cow one if you want. Like,
Internal
Hey, no.
bleeding.
You start seeing this arcane electricity start to bounce from her wings into this hammer. As she goes, 2 weeks. You've known that this oncoming king was coming to me.
yes. But since I have never met you, Your Highness, there was no way of me sending a message to you. There was no way for me to alert you except by trying to find my ship and trying to intercept as much as we can and get to Valoria as soon as we could.
there's the Thokk we know and love.
Mhm.
You see more of this lightning start to bounce and charge into this hammer as you see this gold gauntleted glove slowly just kind of rest on her forearm as she looks back over at this full-plated man. And you see her slowly just put the hammer down. Well, what do you plan on doing about this death problem?
Well, we haven't had a chance to sit down and discuss it. As you can see, in the past 24 hours, it hasn't exactly gone our way. And since I look down at my chest, I'm still slightly recovering from our last encounter. It's time to sit down, learn from our mistakes, and figure out a plan. So as of now, I have none for you, unless you guys have any suggestions. And I look at everyone around the room. How many are there?
There are about 5.
Okay. Including Creed next to me?
Yep. No, 6 would be Creed.
Okay.
Called it.
And you see her, and she goes, "You are to think of your plan and report it to the captain here. She will relay that to me. And you will be in Valoria within 3 weeks. Do you understand?"
If the winds are on our side, we will be in Valoria in 3 weeks. I
And
hope
she
you
looks at-
can help with
goes-
that.
She goes, "Make them on your side."
Don't make me put you on timeout, little girl.
You have an axe.
I have my bow now.
My axe.
My
My sword.
And my staff.
Si se puedes.
And my
We will-
bird. Fuck, the bird's gone. And she makes this very clear to you.
Yeah. We'll be there as soon as we can. Kind of not put, like, I'm not having her shit.
Oh, she's noticing.
We don't play that.
And she smirks as she kind of stands up and she goes, "Morning light, was it?
It was.
We'll be seeing a lot more of each other, morning light, and I look forward to it."
Your Highness. And I just tilt my head, but not break eye contact.
And you see this smirk, and she looks back over at the man in gold. And you see her lift her hand up, and her body vanishes, and that tense air in the room immediately just. And you see Creed just put his, the other Creed, put his hands in his face in his hands, and he goes, "Fuck! I thought she was gonna like throw the hammer at you, and then she's done that before."
If I was afraid of death, maybe it'd intimidate me.
Oh
but-
no, it's not death. Like she'll knock your teeth out here, and then when you wake up, no teeth.
Maybe if I hadn't just had my sternum replaced by your niece, I think she is. Right?
Oh, Valdana.
Yes. Thank you. Or I have to thank her, actually.
And he looks over at Creed. Did she really do that? And you see, yes, father, she did. I will have to tell Abigail. Huh, interesting.
Who knows? If she would have knocked my teeth out, I could just replace them with wooden ones. Why not?
Big teeth.
Like, just wooden teeth. How would that work? I'll figure out how that would work. And you see, eventually, he kind of puts his hand up as he eventually vanishes. And you hear Ketra, and he goes, "Well, fuck. Try not to get, like, punched in the chest real hard. And, like, make sure you keep this sternum, because I feel like if you don't have one, like, you would die. But you're not afraid of dying. But I feel like, right?"
Wise words, Ketra. Thank you. I will always cherish them.
I mean, I wouldn't. I could think of like better ones. Hold on, I'll think of better ones, and the next time when we see each other, I'll have better ones.
Yeah.
How do you feel about toast?
As long as I don't smell burnt toast, I'm okay.
No, that's one of the words, toast.
Toast.
Toast, and you see it's very slowly. And you're left with Duke and the one in the golden armor. As Duke, you see slowly, and you hear like his knees pop as he's like, "Hey, fucking Christ."
You need help, old man?
No, I got it. I'm fine. Thank you.
You're
As he
welcome.
slowly gets up, and the man in the golden armor kind of comes around and kind of crosses his arms as Duke goes, "I was kind of ribbing you about the looking like shite. You look good, kid."
Thanks. Is this too informal to give you a hug? Like, is this
Well,
like,
I'd be offended if you didn't.
okay, so I'll go up to Duke and kind of like bend halfway down. I think I have
Like
to
kneel down. Yeah, you kneel down and then you bend down. And he's on his tiptoes as you feel him kind of embrace you. And it's been a while since you've seen him, and I'm proud, kid.
Thanks.
You're doing good.
Thanks.
Just try not to wait, but I know it's hard.
Yeah. I'm starting to realize that I guess part of my gift is being able to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders without breaking. And if I break, I got to put myself back together. Right?
He nods and he goes, "There's Thokk."
Thanks, dude.
And he looks over at the man in gold and goes, "Well, boss lady's going to be calling me soon. Say goodbyes." And he goes, "I'll see you later, Thokk."
Bye, Duke.
As he dissipates, and you're left solely with Creed and this man in gold armor, as he's kind of, his arms are crossed, and he looks you down and up again.
I do the same.
And you hear a scoffing behind the helmet.
And thoughts, words, introductions.
And you see him start to take off the helmet, and he goes, "It's a nice tattoo on your arm." As you see a very young, older than you saw him before. His nose has been broken and replaced, set back a few times, and his head is shaved to this kind of buzz cut. And you see this massive scar that kind of goes from the crown to the back of his head, and this dumb smile as you see dirt in front of you.
Like, you little shithead. I should have known. How you doing, Dirt? Sorry. Furier.
It's Captain now.
Captain Furier.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Where at?
Valoria. I'm Captain of the Guard.
Well, I'm coming to you. I would get your guard ready, because I don't know how big of an army or how powerful this guy is. But you have to watch her, especially if she's that hot-headed.
And he nods and he goes, Queen Onya's not really taking him seriously. She's more concerned with the undead, but I'm more concerned with this king fellow.
They're both going to try to kill her, whether it be one or the other. Might as well prepare for both. But I feel like the one in red is going to be the one to get there before the one in black.
And you see him, and he kind of puts his finger to his eyes, and he thinks, and he goes, I'll make sure my men are ready.
I'll see you in 4 weeks. 3. 3.
It better be 3.
Numbers.
And he immediately
2.
just engages as you're kind of like thinking like numbers, and you feel him just hold you tight, as you hadn't seen him since he was 13 and he left.
And I'll show him the tattoo on my chest. Like the owl. I'm like, that one's for you.
And he smiles. I've always been inquisitive.
Always been wise. There's 2 sons, right? One for me, one for you.
And he smirks and he goes, let's make sure we keep him up, yeah?
Do our best. Take care, kid.
He smiles and he goes, I'm gonna need all the luck I can get, eh? And you see him put the helmet back on before he dissipates. And your hand is guided off by Creed as she goes, are you ready?
Sure. No reason standing in an empty room.
That's fair. I feel it's a lot more homey now that literally my father's gone. As she gently lifts your hand off of the orb, and you are suddenly hit back to the captain's quarters. And Creed is in front of you as you feel the kind of this oncoming headache as she goes, yep, that's normal. Yep.
That's not fun.
No.
No, I prefer to be hungover. Oh.
And you see her and she goes, I got something for it. And then she kind of comes back with this powdered hot tea drink that smells very strongly of ginger and perhaps something eucalyptusy as you're quelled.
Essential oils.
Essential oils. And you hear a little chiming. Ding. As she goes, you start thinking of that plan. I'm going to try to fix the boat as best we can. We're heading off to Valoria.
Let's hope that the god, the cow, and the druid can help me out with this, because this lonely pirate ain't gonna do it all by himself.
I mean, I wouldn't say you're a lonely pirate. I would say you're more of like a dumb pirate.
I'm a captain without a ship, Creed.
And you see her smirk. Go. I need to start navigating where the fuck we are.
I tip my hat to her again and
She
put her
goes-
on my chest and say, thank you.
You see her and she goes, there's no need for formalities now. You're in the council now, whether they like it or not. Because I'm not doing that again without you.
Wait, what?
Bye, Thokk.
Bye, Creed. And I walk out.
And you walk out. So what are you guys doing on the ship?
Once Donna is awake, I would kind of get them together to let them know about Munnin. And I assume that probably Thokk would end up coming in at some point while I'm explaining to them. Be like, so Munnin left, and he told me to tell both of you guys that he said goodbye. And I asked, like, is this goodbye forever? And then he's like, if I don't die, or if you don't die, you know, kind of like in that Munnin way that he says things, which was very, very, like, just like, whoa. He also, man, he flies A, really fast, and B, Donna, he said he was going to get information for you, but, like, he literally flew up and, like, kind of, like, just evaporated, like, into a cloud that, like, opened up a hole in it. It was really cool, really weird, never seen it before. And Drem, he told me to tell you something he said it this way, and I guess I'll try and make the sounds that I wrote down.
Go ahead and roll that intelligence check. And Dremel, I also need you to make an intelligence check.
Okay.
I'm gonna, just because I feel like it's gonna be bad, I'm rolling this one lefty. What's my modifier? It's a 0, so that's a 4.
Go ahead. What's your intelligence there?
Oh, mine was a 7.
Roll it. So you get, and I'm gonna message it to you on Facebook there.
It's just grunts and guttural noises.
Meanwhile, Donna, you're like, the fuck is he saying?
You guys are weird.
I don't know. I have no idea what I said.
Um,
But I think I got it right. He told me what to say, and I wrote it down to the best of my abilities.
Yeah, man, those sure sound like words.
I'm sure that Munnin knows that you know what to do with it.
Yeah. You gotta work on your accent, though.
I mean, I never spoke giant until today.
My statement still stands.
So is it like a deeper voice?
It's deeper, a little less articulate, and like you gotta like jostle around while you do it.
So I should have been more like.
Oh man, now
like
I
that?
know what you're saying. Yeah. And I parrot
Oh,
it back.
that's right.
You get that?
No, but it sounded jolly and mean at the same time.
That's giant.
Meanwhile, Donna, you're like, I'm on a boat full of crazy people.
I need to get out of here so fast.
So, eventually, during this interaction, Thokk, from your very odd interaction, you're back on the deck of the ship as you see Alder and Drummel are going dirty, 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 and Donner, you're just kind of like sitting on like a barrel, and you're just watching this.
I walk over to Donner and I'm like, what the fuck?
You say potato.
Do I even want to ask?
No, it's not important, and it's whatever they're doing is wrong. So
Got it.
it's not even. I don't even speak giant, and I just know that that's not right.
Cool. I'll whistle over to the two of them. I was about to do it in real life, but I didn't want to blow your eardrums out.
Appreciate it.
And be like, "Psst, come here.
Pitter patter,
Me.
pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter.
No, hoity-toity.
Doity.
I am very grateful I had that meeting with Creed. By the way, and I look at Donner, I'm like, your descendants are assholes and bitches. Long story short, met with the Council of Avatars, Anya included, warned her that her life is in danger. She doesn't give a fuck. Um, told her that we are on our way, kind of filled her in on what's going on, and eventually I need to figure out this whole death situation. But I think right now our priority is to intercept and head to Valoria. I don't know if getting the Horizon in the way would assist, but I don't know if that's backtracking. We don't really know 100% where the hell we are, so.
Did you not
Yeah,
ask?
I talked to Creed, and she didn't know where we were either.
We just know that we went northwest, and I think the Horizon was northeast to where we were, because I think that's where Green Coast was. So we actually went the opposite direction of where I told the ship to head. So we might be on the Wandering Roads for a little longer than expected. But
You know who's gonna
thankfully
love
she's not
that?
trying to kill me.
Sue. She's gonna love it. She's gonna be so happy.
She'll get over it. There's worse things to worry about. I think my first mate would be the last person that I'm worried about. Maybe she can give me a third sternum. Who knows? But yeah, Anya, never met her before. Kind of a bitch. Her and a damn hammer of hers, like,
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
yeah, well, she was just like crackle, crackle, intimidate, blah blah blah, with the wings and the hammer and the shit, and I was just like, nah, bitch. Wait, was that her with the wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I've never met her either, but I do know she's got my hammer, and I would like it back.
Cool. Let's go to Valoria. You can take it back after we kill the Crimson Man.
That sounds like it's gonna be messy.
Sounds like it's going to be harder than we're making it out to be.
What?
Dremel,
The hammer?
no. And I'll turn to look at Drem. I know this might be a painful topic, but what do you remember from him and from that day? Is he someone we need to be wary? Is he a magic user? Is he gonna get up close? Is he?
I remember the destruction. I remember the death. I remember the smell of my family and my tribe burning. But not how it happened. All I know, he's got a shitload of power, and he has no problem using it on people who have done him no wrong. But now we got a god on our side. And we will
know.
watch the life drain from his eyes.
And we know where he's going to be.
Oh, yes, we do. And in that time, we will come up with a fantastic plan. But, and I look around, I do get the killing blow. Y'all know that. I will be the one to watch the life drain from his eyes and watch him become a husk of what he once was.
Drem, just be smart. Don't put yourself in a position to be vulnerable.
What's smarter than redeeming your family?
I'm all for it. I'm not saying that I want the killing blow. I'm just saying if you live to fight another day and he doesn't, that means you win. At the end of the day, that's all that means.
And I grab the chain or the necklace around. You see these? You all see it?
Mm-hmm.
This is every creature that's wronged me. I take a tooth, I take a claw, even here, take an eyeball. Kind of shriveled, but that's what it once was.
Looks like a dried testicle.
It might... No, this is a dried testicle. This one's an eyeball.
God.
I will have his head. And he will become the prize piece on this necklace. And I know y'all are here to help me, but if any of you take that killing blow from me, gotta spend that energy somewhere.
It won't be me. It's
Donner.
all you.
Trim, I'm not gonna take your revenge away from you.
That's right, you won't. And Alder, how about you?
If he looks as though he's going down, I'll put my foot on his neck, but I'll let you take the step.
All right. Then it sounds like we're in agreement.
Well, I guess we have 4 weeks to put that big brain boy head of yours. What do we do?
Oh, I got the gears turning. I'll think of something.
Speaking of gears turning, so yeah, you guys remember Vindrin, right?
No, I totally
yeah.
forgot who she was.
Old lady about yay high, like to carve chairs.
Yeah.
Sat
well,
on, Thokk
no,
sat
I'm
on the
just-
knee, you know, that lady. Yeah.
Strong ass bitch.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. No, I'm just the way that he just described Queen Anya. It's reminding me of drawings that I saw at Vindrin of a lady with wings with lightning and thunder coming out of them. Like, I think Vindrin's husband ended up being recruited by Anya specifically for the Dragon Wars. Because it all kind of makes sense. Because I also saw the chairs that she built for Anya and her men. They were kind of falling apart, but they were secluded by Vindrin's land.
You think he's
I know
still
this
alive?
is long ago. I just didn't think anything of it at the time.
Do you think he's still
Sorry,
alive?
what's that? Oh God, I mean,
It could be possible.
it's been a long time though since the Dragon Wars, hasn't it?
How
Like, what was
long?
it, 60 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is pre my history. Then I wouldn't know much about it.
You would have learned in your travels here and there, but nothing
Yeah,
that you wouldn't be an expert on unless you wanted to be.
Yeah, I mean, using the logic of the fact that she killed a Draco Lich and that ended the Dragon Wars, and
An Iron Draco Lich. I know.
sorry, an Iron Draco Lich.
God,
Single-handedly.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
it's
not that
not made of
massive.
steel, but
You know how many times I've
yeah.
saved the world? You know, it's not even. Come on. Small potato.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy being green. Yeah.
yeah,
You
but
know,
she's
you
not
know-
green. Are you making this about you?
No, I'm not.
All right, because
I
I
just
gave a
wanted to
very
let you guys know.
impassioned speech earlier, and I want y'all to recognize that.
We recognize your passion.
All right, thank you.
I'm
I
just
sometimes I just need, that little attaboy.
attaboy.
Oh, thanks,
I
man. You
don't
didn't
know.
have to do
It's-
that.
It's just weird, kind of hearing that description and then thinking of those images that I saw all that time ago.
Which description?
Hearing
Yeah.
Thokk describing Anya and how it
Gotcha.
pretty much lines up exactly with what I saw at Vindrin's. As I recall, she didn't have much information for me on them because it's been so long, so she really kind of just showed me the art that she had made. But unless there's something that I'm missing there, DM.
No?
Okay.
Well, how soon do we have to be in Valoria, Thokk? How soon did you tell her that we would be there?
She told me we had to be there in 3 weeks.
My god. She just.
So I
Sounds
told her
like
that if the
something like
winds
that.
were on our side, then we will do our best. And she said, we'll make them on your side. Real charming, that one, by the way.
I can't take any
I
kind of
mean-
credit for that. I've been missing for thousands of years. So,
Maybe if you were around, she wouldn't be such a jerk.
Next time you go to get cigarettes, come back.
Smoking pipe.
Takes a long time to get back from the convenience store. Sometimes 18 years, it's just the way things go.
Is that why it's called a 7-Eleven?
Exactly why. It takes 7 to get there and 11 to come back, so.
It all makes sense now.
Well, I think the make the wins on our side was kind of a jab at me. I can help out if there's wind already. I can direct it. So Cree just needs to find out where we are, and in 3 weeks, hopefully, we can end up in Valoria.
Yep. Hopefully, yeah, we have 3 weeks. I'm pretty sure we can figure something out in 3 weeks, right? Aside from find a man in Crimson, kill him, or Dremel kill him, that's it?
Do we know where we're at now? Did you ask them where we're at now?
It didn't occur to me. There was a lot going on. Like, there was people there that I haven't seen in like 7 years, and then there was like thundering with this one chick, and then the guy that was glowy is like a kid that I helped like find his power like forever ago, and like then it was like Duke who gave me the horizon, and so I'm like pointing out left and right. I'm like, a lot happened. Okay.
Drem, Creed is on it. She's gonna figure out where we are and then put us in the right direction. I've already talked to her about that. It's just a matter of time.
Okay.
You can give her some inspiration.
She's your girlfriend.
What? What do you talk? I can. Oh, like a song and dance? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure she's so used to performing all the time that she'd love to have someone else perform for her. So I guess I could do that. But what else would I do? As just a standard cow person who only has a. What's that? You need more help? Oh, I guess they need more help rebuilding the ship, guys. I guess we gotta get back to helping out there.
Insight check.
Are you trying to be deceiving there, Drem?
In just like a very nervous kind of way, like, oh man, I guess we should probably stop talking about this.
You don't need to do an insight check.
I mean, I could rewrite through it. My insight's through the roof.
You're like, he's ambiguous.
I just
It's
laugh.
his girlfriend.
Kissing. All right. So, anything else needs to be done on the ship?
I mean, the big giant hole in it should probably get fixed.
Yeah, we can get back to working on that.
Yeah.
So, I'll say that you guys are able to kind of patch up the ship as best you can before eventually you guys start getting ready for dinner. Eventually, because you do need to eat. And I will say at some point Val does join the rest of you, trying to catch up. And she certainly takes, a more interest than Thokk, making sure you're okay and that nothing is weird because she's never done anything like that before. So it's a lot of her asking you questions, almost to the point of being mildly annoying, but it's all in it's all coming from a nice place.
No, and I'll tell her. I'll be like, "You did good. Like, thank you. Without you, I'd be dead again." So.
And she kind of touches where your chest and your sternum is, and you feel her kind of press lightly as she tries to move her fingers around. She's like, and it's not moving out of place, and it's staying there. You're not having any sharp pain in your chest or your ribs or anything like that. No.
No, not at all. Like every once in a while, like I just feel like making like just certain. But I don't know where that come from. But.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're not having actual difficulty breathing. You just
No. I just have this weird hiccup that just keeps coming up every once in a while. But aside from that, like no weird breathing or anything like that.
no.
I used to live by
the pressure out. I didn't take all the pressure out of your chest. Drummel, was that knife?
Val,
right
I'm fine.
here.
I'm fine.
And you see her, and like Drummle's handing her the knife, and she has like the knife in her hand, and you see her arm is like trembling.
I'm like, no. I'm like, I'll start running if I have to.
Oh, it's okay. I'll do it. And I grab the knife back.
Get the hell away from me for that knife.
All right.
Punch you so hard.
No, but honestly, like it. Again, you saved my life. It's odd, but I'll get used to it.
I'm glad you're okay.
Of course. And who knows? Maybe along the scar, I'll just have tattooed a lightning bolt coming down in your honor.
Thokk, do you want to know where we found the sternum?
No. I think I'm okay with just knowing that it was a pig one. It's mine now.
Okay,
There's no point dwelling on where it came from.
that's fine. I'm perfectly all right with that.
Trash.
Val, can
God
I
bless you.
steal you away really quick, just for a moment?
And she's like, "Yeah, no, that's fine. That'd be great." And she's like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Are you sure you're?"
Oh
okay?"
my God, he's fine.
He didn't have a sternum.
Yes, I know. Who brought him on the ship? That was me. He's fine now. Look at him.
And so she kind of like stands to the side and her arms are crossed, and she's still glancing over where Thokk is because she's waiting for him to fucking collapse at any moment. Because she essentially just had a bunch of chewing gum and paper clips and just made a sternum out of it.
Once the gum hardens, he'll be fine. Still a little
But
gummy,
it's wet.
but-
It's never gonna harden.
well, I mean,
Blood.
that's kind
Hey.
of his problem, not
Options
yours.
were made with less than, what is it, gaff tape and safety paper clips.
So I feel like I always come to you with like not fun things to talk about.
Oh, good. You're gonna tell me my pet goldfish died.
Oh, did you have one?
What is it, Donald?
We're going to Valoria to save Anya.
And does she know I'm coming?
I don't know. I didn't speak to her directly, so
Okay.
should she know that you're coming or
Oh no! Don't bother her with minor details. Minor details.
why shouldn't she know that you're coming? Aren't you like
No, it's.
an honorary niece or something?
I wouldn't say I'm honorary. I am her niece. However, it's complicated.
It seems complicated. So that would mean that you would be related to me in some way if that was the case.
No. Okay, so my mother's
Uh-huh.
father
Uh-huh.
fought in the Dragon Wars
Okay.
with Anya,
Yeah.
and
The Iron Dragon, Dracolich, whatever the fuck. I don't even care.
from what I've heard, because I haven't seen him in say since we were teenagers, Anya had a son, and then Anya didn't have a son.
So she killed a son.
I don't think she killed a son.
Can't trust anyone anymore.
However, he and I were cousins.
On the dad's side. The dad, you guys were related through his blood, not hers.
Yes.
Got it. So she's a aunt by marriage.
I wouldn't say marriage. They weren't married.
An aunt by intercourse.
Yeah. Kind of like me and Jesse are cousins because of
Intercourse.
my grandfather.
Hex. Sex. Hex.
My grandfather was a human.
Okay. I'm following, kind of. Yeah, alright.
I mean, you know humans, right?
I do. I know you. You're a human.
I
think.
am.
Yeah.
And humans that tend to live long
Uh-huh. Yeah.
tend to find multiple partners at some point
Got
throughout
it.
their lifespan.
Lots of intercourse with other... Yep.
Don't say that about my grandfather.
Sorry. Just trying to put the pieces together.
Yes.
Well, the guy that killed all of Dremel's friends and family is going to try and kill Anya.
What? Okay, so we are going into arguably a situation where we all die.
Very possibly, yeah.
Okay, we'll just call that another day. And she kind of just smacks you on the shoulder.
It was a good talk. I appreciate that.
I mean, I feel like at this point nothing really should surprise me. I saw a giant devil whale.
Yeah. You know what should surprise you though? It would be, it'd be the funniest thing if you didn't go to Valoria. If you stayed on the ship and just went in the opposite direction.
Why would I do that?
Because I don't want you to die.
I feel like, and this is, just spitball, you can just spitball it right back at me
Yeah,
because
of
I feel
course.
like you will.
No. There, see?
Great.
Yeah. Look, you're young, you're inexperienced, and when we fought that Storm Twister electric light boogaloo thing, you almost died. It was a freak accident. But if we're dealing with something here that is immensely powerful and can wipe out a tribe full of Dremels. Say what you want about the guy, he's resilient. This could be extremely dangerous, and I would like you to be as far away from it as humanly possible.
Sure.
Do I have your word?
Yes.
Is it like your word like you're okay with it, or is it your word like I'm mad at you, Donna, don't ever talk to me again?
You have my word.
Okay. I promise I'll never say intercourse to you ever again.
You said it again.
Yeah, but like after this point, I'll never say it again.
Okay.
Intercourse, that word. I'm never gonna. Shit.
You did that one on purpose.
It was a little bit. Yeah.
I could tell.
Yeah.
No, I could tell.
Just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know you want to be there. I know you want to be helpful, and you would be absolutely. The more people, the better chance we have at taking him down. But I can't. I don't want to see you get hurt.
And you see her, and she crosses her arms, and she goes, "Okay."
Also, just as a quick little side note, if you'd like to pray to me instead of Talos, I wouldn't be upset.
I'm sorry.
What?
What?
Kiss
No,
on
I
it?
don't.
I
And she's like, "I'm not sure what you said. You mumbled a little bit there."
was just, if you wanted to, it would be, it's not a big deal. It's just, one brother for another, and it's, it's fine. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It's probably better.
Wait. I'm switching with your. And she looks at you and she goes, "You want me to?"
No, I would never ask you to do that. I would just let you know that it's an option. Probably give you better powers or something, just because we know each other.
And she slowly just starts turning to the side. "You're not dying, yeah?" As she calls out to you, Thokk.
Nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Back when I used to work on a farm, I always heard this thing. It was called Sue.
I'm going to get a drink.
I'll come with you.
A very big drink. As she kind of goes off.
Thokk will take some slop.
Yes. I hear the slop is good today. Oh,
yes,
you haven't made
slop.
slop in so much, Alder. So yeah, eventually Val kind of goes off with you, Thokk, and the three of you are kind of left to your own devices as we'll close out for the night. Do you have anything you'd like to do before we sign off?
think we're good.
I want to strike the boat with lightning.
Okay, great. Make sure you do the
Murder
giant
everyone.
gaping hole.
I will set this ship on fire.
Hey, fire makes us move faster, right? How do I pop the back of this as like it's a raft?
I've seen enough movies to know that popping the back of a raft makes it go faster.
I've read enough cartoon scrolls to know.
Yeah, I don't have anything else I'd like to do now. I'm done.
All right. So we will close it there.
Fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Dungeons and Dragons and Junk Drawer. We will be back next week with an all new episode. So come check us out. Follow us on the YouTube, Instagram. Check out our social media. Go check out our fantastic artists that we're supporting via shout outs and sometimes currency. Also, Josh.
That's me.
Clear comms.
Oh, clear calls, guys. I'm gonna read everyone.
Would you like
who
to
was
read
in
some
chat.
names?
Yeah, I
Oh,
sure
cool.
would. Thanks. So first off, I'm gonna thank Adam, CC, Origom, Commander Root, Gandalf the Babe, Get Affiliated _now, Lurks, and Raidens. Thanks for watching tonight. Also, shout out to Alan Crow Raven 425 for subscribing again for the second month. We love you all very much, and I'm a very confident person.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Oh God! Please go vote.